Hey, pal. What are you doing in this cramped alley? I think we both know this isn't the way to the castle. You do know that, right? Yeah, so let's turn around and get on with the plan. In fact, maybe you should check out the elevator to New Home. I have the feeling it might be unoccupied right now. Clover, come on. Is this about that letter you received in the Steamworks? It's gotta be a trap. You're seriously gonna fall for something so obvious? That bird never got you anywhere. You know who did? Me, your best friend. How many times have I saved your life, huh? All Martlet's done is put it in danger. Alright, fine. If this is what you think is worth your time, then I trust you. What else would a friend do, after all? Just don't say I didn't warn you.
Ah, you got my message. Great! What a view. That large facility in front of us is the core. The main source of power for the underground. Behind that is New Home, the capital city. King Asgore's castle. Look, I haven't been 100% honest with you. My whole life, I was taught that humans are the enemy. But you never really came across as such. Though, during our journey, I did sense a faint, alarming aura in you. I had this backup plan in case you started a rampage, but you never did. Phew, that feels liberating. I'm so sorry for keeping that from you. You're a good kid. Even so, there's another problem. I don't think Asgore would agree. You see, he needs 7 human souls to destroy the barrier. So far he's collected 5, and he might try for another. Now that we're this close, I'm afraid there isn't a peaceful way of confronting him. I'm sorry. I know this isn't the path you intended, but let's put all this behind us. You can come stay with me, live out a happy, violence-free childhood. I'll teach you craftsmanship, and you can teach me marksmanship. You don't deserve to die this young. What do you say?
Sounds good.
Really? Whoa! We're gonna have so much fun! I promise this is the best outcome for both of us. Well, roommate, let's go to Snowden! Ah! What is this? Clover? Why would you...
You gotta be kidding me. I just knew something like this would happen. Our friendship was always one-sided, wasn't it? After all, you never bothered to save even once. Still, I tried for so long. I tried to uphold a friendly persona, but wow. You really brought me to my limit. Though, I gotta say, it did feel good to finally snap, you know. She never saw it coming. Best of all, she thought you betrayed her in the end. What an idiot! I bet she even... Trigger happy, are we? I think you forgot who's in charge here. We had a nice run, didn't we? Too bad I won't miss it. I should have done this earlier, huh? Oh? You're still holding on? So stubborn. Lighten up a little, pal. You do know this didn't have to happen, right? We had a plan. A simple one. Go to Asgore. But I guess you're too stupid to follow directions. In fact, we were right there! I had no idea why you would just run away after meeting the king. Did you just want to see me suffer? Or maybe you thought Asgore would just instantly forget about you. That you could run back here to Martlet and live happily ever after? That's not how it works, buddy. You know, I think I did you a huge favor. No need to thank me. Don't know why I thought this would end any differently. You've always been predictable. Oh? What do I mean? Well, buddy, let me show you. You see, I've been watching you for a while. Gosh, what run is it? Gotta be in the hundreds. I've almost lost count.
Oh, hello. Are you alright? You must be wondering what is going on. I am Toriel, caretaker of the ruins.
I let you carry on your merry way so many times.
Go ahead and push the rock. You are learning so much, my child.
I watched the same childish behavior play out over and over and over. Sure, small decisions here and there would vary, but
Trapped behind the barrier and fearful of further human attacks.
the journey would always end with you ignorantly living with Toriel. I had to interfere.
This was our new home.
At first, my efforts seemed to work. Tensions rose and you left the ruins. But then, other issues crept up. No matter how many times you journeyed on, you always died. I had to steer you off the path of failure as early as possible. So I tampered with a little switch and, well, the rest is history. Oh, come on! You're still here? I thought at least my story might bore you so much that you'd give in. You really want to do this the hard way? Alright then. Let's have a little fun before I absorb your soul for good. Now, remember what I taught you! Dodge the bullets. Clover would like to cry, but they have no eyes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 7, 7. Clover suddenly feels like taking a nap. Clover is giving fighting a try. Missing. Your best friend. Loves me. Loves me. No. File 1.
Redacted.
Reset, try again. Sounds like... Howdy, I'm Flowey, Fly the Flower. You look confused. Toriel ought to taught you how. Try again, Reese. Try again.
No, I will not make excuses. I must deserve this.
Clover? Where did you go, buddy? Get back here! Hello? Where am I? Mom? Dad? Anybody? Help me. Please, help me. No. Nothing. Useless. Hello? Could this be it? It must be! Yes, it has to be! It must be! It must be. What have I done?
Clover? Clover! It's you! I can't believe it! Come here! I was so scared. This place, it's Snowden, right? Sure looks like it. I haven't the slightest clue what's going on here. The last thing I remember was us talking on that rooftop. Oh yeah, we were going to my house. I don't quite know where it is from here, but we'll search together. I'm so happy I found you. So happy I found you. I found you.
I found you! Howdy! Have fun with your friend back there? you slipped away for a second, didn't ya? You are quite a vigilant one. Bet you could have outlasted Asgore if you bothered to reach him. Even though your choices in this timeline are useless to me now, I did not really hate our time together. Not all of it. Two lost souls deciding who lives or dies. Most of the time you were insufferable, but when you gave in to your true violent urges, that was the best part. That's when I knew you had it in you to fight the king. But that was so long ago. Just look at you now. Barely recognizable. You know, some say yellow is the color of justice. Close, but that's not the word I would choose. Yellow is the color of judgment. Consequence. You would know, wouldn't you? Ah, you're right. Who cares about all that? Life's all about the thrill, how fun your experiences are. Our time here has been way better than any interaction out there. And I'm not looking for it to end anytime soon. Of course, it can't last forever. After I overtake your soul, I'll kill Asgore. I'll absorb all those poor children you couldn't save. Then, and only then, I will become God. But for now, this is only the beginning. So please, resist. Let's entertain each other a while longer. After all, in this world, it's kill or be killed! What would you like to do? Great!
Wow, really?
What would you like to do? Great! What would you like to do? Great!
I think it's interesting. What is my opinion?
What would you like to do? Great!
Cuphead's role has just ended.
What would you like to do? Great!
So you define. How amusing.
What would you like to do? Great!
La, 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 la.
Hey! Hey! Just give up! What is wrong with you? You... Useless. Even now. All of it. I can't believe I thought this run might be it. It's no wonder we make a good team. You're a lot like me in a way. Too stubborn to lie down and accept your situation. Too determined. You're so annoying. I thought this would be fun, and I suppose it was. For a moment. But I'm over it now. I don't think either of us feel like fighting for all eternity, so... I'll cut you a deal. I'm going to reset. Back to when you first arrived. Of course, you probably won't remember this. We can be pals all over again. Reunited. If we end up in the same spot, I may try this again. But, if you can remember anything from right now, try to make different decisions next time. There's a better timeline out there for both of us. Not that I care about you, this outcome just sucks. It was all in my mind. No one could see it. It wasn't threatening lives. Doesn't come close to what I'm truly aiming for. When I reach that goal, you'll be there to witness it. A spectacle like the world's never seen. So, when we meet again in that dingy room, you're gonna help me get what I want. Like it or not, I decide your fate now. If only I could see your reaction to all this. Oh, who am I kidding? Your face would only look like it always did. Alright, I'll let you go. I do need a little time to practice my intro monologue, though. Feel free to pace yourself before the big fall. See you later, Clover.